Greetings from parts unknown. My name is Sunny Sofrito, and welcome to episode 17 of the Yep I Like Wrestling podcast. Before we get started, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube, youtube.com/YEPILW, and to our SoundCloud account, soundcloud.com/YEPILW, and find us wherever podcasts are listed, iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, TuneIn, and for everything else that's Yep I Like Wrestling, go to YEPILW.com. So we're gonna send it over to Lucy, Teddy, and Kervin, and enjoy the show. Take care. Peace.
I am Lucy T of Lucy T WWE, and I am here with the Yep GM, Teddy himself.
I know. It is so good to see you, Lucy.
So good to see you too.
Always. It's always a pleasure.
And to my left, we have the Yep I Like Wrestling co-founder, Kervin Delgado.
Happy birthday.
And it's his birthday.
It's his birthday.
Yesterday was your birthday, right?
Yes,
Yes.
April 17, episode 17. Sonny's not on this podcast. I'm so happy.
I know, we miss Sunny.
I thought something felt so much better. I really did. I felt lighter and freer, and now I know why.
It's like wearing ankle weights.
I know, it's like I'm free. It's like we've been free.
Oh, come on, guys.
Well,
Sonny, we're only kidding.
No,
I'm
was
only
not.
kidding.
I
Not
wasn't.
really.
No, not really.
It's love taps.
He's pretending he's sick, but he's not.
Did you do anything crazy for your birthday?
Absolutely nothing. I did nothing. All I did was reply back to everyone, to those who wish me a happy birthday. Thank you so much. I am humbled and I am overwhelmed by all the birthday wishes.
Aw, see, that's really
So
nice.
sweet.
Thank you.
That's really
I
nice.
really appreciate that.
Yeah. Well, we have a few things, we have quite a bit to talk about. It was a superstar shakeup this week, but first, there is some wrestling news that I think we should also mention. Bruno Sammartino died at 82, you guys.
Yes, we lost a legend and Hall of Famer in Bruno Sammartino.
I mean, we've lost the legend of legends because before there was The Rock, Stone Cold Steve Austin, John Cena, there was Bruno Sammartino. The first wrestler that I knew about was Hulk Hogan, but a lot of people that actually got me into wrestling at the time, they will tell me a lot about Bruno Sammartino and his matches in Madison Square Garden. I mean, he sold out the place.
Yeah.
He's the man who built MSG.
Yeah,
That was his
exactly.
title for many years.
This is a serious passing away, and it's very unfortunate. And now it makes sense to me, honestly, because he wasn't at the Hall of Fame, and he usually is at the Hall of Fame ever since he was inducted, but for some reason he wasn't there now. So I don't know exactly why he passed away, but it wouldn't shock me if he had something going on, health-wise, and they were on, they covered it up and they didn't want no one to know about it. But unfortunately, my condolences go out to his family.
Yeah, thoughts and prayers are definitely with everyone. I will say though, 82 is that is a long life, and I know for a fact he touched a lot of people's lives with his in-ring, out-ring, all of it. And all right, well, I'm sorry now that we got that out of the way. Another exit this week in the wrestling world
And what
was
exit is that?
the relationship of Nikki Bella and John Cena.
Oh!
Superstar shakeup
God.
happened before the superstar
Do you
shakeup.
think that they took that superstar shakeup term a little too literally?
Yes and no. My personal opinion is that I'm not sure if they really did break up.
Really?
You think it's a work?
It could be a work. It could be to sell the new season of Total Bellas to get that viewership up. It could be. Vince McMahon might be the booker of that relationship. He just might be. I need more time. I need to see more things. But at the same time, they had a rocky road. I do watch Total Divas. I do watch Total Bellas.
Yeah.
Believe it or not.
All those documents he was making her sign though, I don't think that John Cena would want to be seen as a total prick.
Too late.
But he's been telling her on camera that, hey, I don't want to get married.
Right.
I don't want to have any kids.
Yeah.
And she still proceeded.
Yep.
So he told her in advance.
But then he proposed. So you
that I
can
believe
say
was Vince McMahon. That was the ringmaster at work.
Literally
let's do it at
the
WrestleMania.
ringmaster.
Yes, let's do it at WrestleMania, John. Let's do it.
He probably at the time wanted to propose to her, but Vince said, wait, you gotta do it at WrestleMania.
Oh yeah, that had Vince all over it.
Yeah.
But you're right. He told her from the beginning, I don't want to get married again. I don't want kids. He told her over and over. All I know is when I heard the news, I felt like a kid on Christmas because I knew I was right. There's nothing I love more than feeling right. Well, There are a lot of things I'd like to feel, but right is the best thing to feel. So I knew. So when I heard that Nikki Bella and John Cena broke up, it was like Christmas Day. I ran downstairs and I opened presents in my house. There was nothing in them, but the gift of them breaking up was all the gift I needed. It's like December here in April.
I mean, to be fair, it is like 45 degrees outside.
It is.
So.
Spring has not arrived.
It does also feel like it is winter still.
Yes.
And this is another thing. Like, I'm a fan of John Cena, and I'm a fan of Nikki Bella. I actually want them to be together.
Yeah.
I actually want them to start
I
a
do too.
family.
I was really sad.
We need more happy couples. There's a lot of couples breaking up. The divorce rate is very high, not just in wrestling with wrestling couples, but in couples in general.
Yeah.
So, and Dolph Ziggler, congrats to him. He won the Money in the Bank briefcase. He's going to cash it in on Nikki Bella one of these days.
He's going to hit that. He's going to hit that hard. He's just been waiting. So
gross.
He's cashing
in.
Dolph
He's already cashing in.
Oh yeah, I say go for it.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Ugh. Grief. Just the grief. We've had conversations. What episode was it? Yep. I Like Wrestling podcast, where we had a conversation about the Grease.
Oh yeah.
Who's Seth Rollins?
Yeah.
Seth Rollins, Roman
Dolph
Reigns.
also,
Dolph Ziggler is part of that club.
Yeah.
I mean, I think Dolph Ziggler has slept with at least 50% of the wrestlers, 50% of the female wrestlers since he's been with the WWE.
And I guess CM Punk slept with the other half. That's how that worked. Yeah.
That could be debatable as well.
There were a few mimbos in the WWE, but yeah.
Well, speaking of spreading germs, so a man actually went with the measles. Mm-hmm. Did you guys hear about this?
Yes,
I had heard about this, but I heard about it honestly earlier this week.
Yeah.
And I didn't know anything about it, but I did not know that it was a fan that had it. But then it kind of spread everywhere. So I'm just beginning to know about this story.
That's crazy.
Okay, but here's the thing. WrestleMania tickets cost millions of dollars. So whether you have the measles, whether your head falls off, you buy tickets to WrestleMania, you're going to go.
I agree.
Nothing is going to stand in your way.
Exactly.
But I mean, like, who has measles anymore? That's such a 1940s type disease. Like,
I know.
What, you went back in time to get that disease? Like, measles?
Is that actually a rumor that is true? It's not a false rumor?
Well,
No,
Sonny
it's
told
true.
me, but Sonny lies to me all the time, so I don't know.
No, it's true. It was in the Sun Herald.
Because I didn't hear no one in my social media platforms talk about that.
Yeah, I think I actually also saw it in the Daily Mail.
Oh, then it must be true.
Which is where I get all of my news.
Like measles? Like, couldn't we get anything fun? Like,
I know.
Herpes or something? Something that was
chicken pox.
Chicken pox. That's so 1982. Something fun, like something we got it from having fun. Measles, like.
Come on.
There you go. I like what you did there. I saw that. Did you get that?
Nothing worse,
Speaking of Nikki Bella.
Oh,
come on.
See what I did there? Yeah.
Well,
measles.
I mean,
shout out to measles for making a comeback.
Hopefully everyone that was affected by the measles in New Orleans is actually well now.
Yes. I agree.
Yeah.
So, wishing everyone luck if you were there and if you are in fact the victim of the measles.
Yeah.
Okay. Rusev versus The Undertaker. So earlier this week, right, it was announced that Rusev and Undertaker would have a casket match at the Greatest Royal Rumble in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia on April 27th. Then, out of nowhere, look, freaking Randy Orton over here, out of nowhere, it was then switched to Chris Jericho.
We'll see out of nowhere.
It was switched to Chris Jericho, right? There was all this speculation of, it was probably because, they didn't want to bury Rusev, and so they're like, well, Undertaker can't lose, so it's got to be another old guy like Jericho, which I was insulted by because Jericho is the fucking shit.
Somebody likes Jericho.
I love Jericho. He's on my phone case, which my phone is charging, otherwise I would show it to everyone. And then, I also heard from someone that, Lana called up Vince and was like, don't you, put him in danger? But then she approved it, so then they put it back on.
What?
And I am just so confused. My main thought on this whole thing is, after seeing The Undertaker's match at WrestleMania with John Cena, there's no way he's beating Rusev. Like that.
I personally think Rusev should be Undertaker
I do too.
at Saudi Arabia. He deserves it more. He needs it more. The Undertaker's career is already done.
Yeah.
Well, I'm 99% of it is done.
Yeah.
Rusev needs that victory. So, and if that's true about Lana calling Vince McMahon, then I guess Lana has a lot of power in the WWE because for Vince McMahon to change his mind,
the wag.
for Vince McMahon to change his mind because Lana called him about something says a whole lot to me.
What do you think, Teddy?
I mean, looking at Rusev and then looking at The Undertaker, who should be in a casket more? The Undertaker. I mean, we all watch WrestleMania. He's half dead anyway, so... But is he even going to make the flight? Like, the flight is like 29 hours. Like, Undertaker's not going to survive that. So, yeah, I think this was a botch to begin with. Poor Rusev. Can't catch a break. But I love this whole thing. Lana wagging her finger at. So I was like, when was the last time Lana had a good, push? Like, Lana's not wagging her finger at anyone. Like, no.
She does a lot of the shimmies on her Instagram.
Props to the WWE for putting Rusev in that spot.
Yeah.
But hopefully they do the right thing by making Rusev go over and win.
Yeah.
Has The Undertaker ever lost a casket match? I can't remember. I can't think offhand. Has he ever lost a casket match?
I'm trying to figure out myself. I don't think he has.
I don't think he
It
has.
might have been Kane. I really don't know. That's something we have to look up.
Speaking of the Greatest Royal Rumble, that's going to be streamed on the WWE Network. And we got a Yep, I Like Wrestling viewing party, right? At
Yes,
Legends.
it's
Supposedly in the works, but I think it's safe to say that we do. And it's going to be at Legends Bar in New York City, blocks away from Madison Square Garden, the most famous arena. The arena that Bruno Sammartino made famous for wrestling fans. So, yes.
And that's going to be, doors are opening at 11 a.m. And then it's going to start at noon.
Yeah, exactly.
Awesome. Well, let's dive right on in. Put your goggles on, swim caps. Let's dive into the Superstar Shakeup.
No, I don't know how to swim too well, so I need one of those things.
You get some
you need a life vest.
Need a
Can
life
we get
vest,
some
yes.
floaties in here for Kervin?
Get the arm floaties out my nieces and nephews wear.
I drink water. I don't swim in water.
So before we go down the list, gut reaction for the Superstar Shakeup.
I actually like the fact that it was an even number in a lot of ways. 17 going one way, 19 going the other way. I think the tag team division in Raw is too weak now, but the tag team division in SmackDown is too strong. Too strong.
Yeah.
I think it's so strong that it's going to force Gallows and Anderson to be jobbers. And it shouldn't be jobbers.
Because they didn't do that already.
There's not too many tag teams on Raw now.
Right.
I mean, Breezango went over there. You have Matt Hardy and Bray Wyatt, who I think they'll win the tag team titles and then split up after losing the tag team titles and have one last match. Who are the other Authors of Pain, Heath Slater and Rhino, and that's it. You have no other tag teams in the
Titus
Raw.
Worldwide.
Oh, Titus Worldwide. Yeah, of course. I forgot about them. But SmackDown's tag team division is a lot stronger than the Raw tag team division.
Now, do you think that they might be setting up for women tag titles?
Yeah.
So maybe they're going to start that on Raw versus on SmackDown just because of the...
I think it's going to happen. Time will tell. When. I think it's more of when is it going to happen instead of if it's going to happen.
Yeah.
I personally think they need to have tag titles for both brands since they're going to co-brand pay-per-views. But tag team titles in the women's division is bound to happen.
Yeah. Teddy, what's your gut reaction from this week's Superstar Shakeup?
My gut reaction for the shakeup is there's no one left on SmackDown. There's nothing left on SmackDown but the color blue. That's the only thing that was left on SmackDown.
Yeah, Samoa Joe.
You could have kept him. He doesn't do it for me. He's
Tell
just
us how
never
you
done
really
it.
feel,
He's
Teddy.
I'm trying. I've been
No
holding
for
back.
Oscar?
These past 17 episodes, I've been holding back. It seems Raw got the best end of that deal. I know you said the numbers were even, but I don't think the star power was even. Raw got a lot more than
The Miz, Cesaro.
The Miz, okay. Cesaro isn't what he used to be.
Andrade Cien Almas. No love
You know
for
what?
him.
I don't
No
watch
love-
NXT, but his manager's really pretty. So
Zelina Vega.
I'm interested to see what she
Oh, man,
does.
she's the type to be your nurse, your best friend,
Oh,
your
dear.
porn star.
Oh my.
Give you 2 kids and take 35% off your check.
She's
Child
one of
support.
those.
She's one of those.
Okay, well.
I say that as to bring her down as well as a compliment, but I love Zelina Vega.
She'd be like Sonny's eighth wife. I don't know how his
I
number
really
system
don't know.
goes.
She's
but
one
I'm
of
sure-
mine,
ranking.
though. She's somewhere in my top.
I saw her
15.
promo and I was like, "Ooh, okay, I'm interested to see what he can do." But the rest of them,
He was
I mean,
in the Royal Rumble, and she
But
came out with him.
I saw her,
Yeah.
but they didn't let her stay, so
Yeah.
it was brief. So I didn't know. But come on now, R-Truth. Do you really think that's a thing?
That was I
Really?
died.
Our Truth was a throw-in.
Yeah, I think we
I
got a few. The Riot Squad. They came as a 3-person package, so that just kind of says one of you is not enough. Let's take all 3 of you. So,
But they did add But they did add Absolution to SmackDown.
Which I am really bummed about because I was really looking forward to seeing what Sonya Deville and Mandy Rose could do on their own. And
Paige.
now they're following Paige over to SmackDown Live.
Which makes
so
me...
it's like, womp womp, so what? Paige is going to give them preferential treat. Like, snooze. Like, I wanted them to just do their own thing. And furthermore, I thought that at the middle of Raw, when Natty and Rhonda had their little thing in the ring where Natty got beat up by the remainder of Absolution, and Rhonda came to rescue her, that we were going to get a feud building up between Sonya Deville and Ronda Rousey as the former MMA.
I think that's, well,
and then they just like left and moved on.
To me, I think that's too early, but that would make sense because down the road, you're going to have Ronda Rousey face Asuka, Ronda Rousey face Charlotte.
Right.
You might even have Ronda Rousey face Sasha Banks. So throwing someone like a Sonya Deville now will actually, give it time for her to face the other names that I just mentioned.
Yeah.
It'll be a filler.
And I also think that SmackDown Live got the better women. I like the Iconics. I think I do a really good Australian accent, but
yeah. Well, they got Asuka, which was a huge.
They kept Charlotte,
and by
Becky.
doing that, you get Asuka away from Ronda Rousey.
Yeah.
Now you have Charlotte and Asuka on the same brand, away from Ronda Rousey, so you can set something up for Royal Rumble / WrestleMania.
Yeah.
So I actually like that move, but I don't think it would have made sense to have Absolution and Riot Squad on the same brand.
I was actually thinking of this, what we could do. Since Paige was moved to SmackDown as probably the worst general manager ever, I was hoping that now that the Riot Squad moved to Raw, that they just had one big stable with the rest of Absolution. That may have actually worked if we now had 5 women, our first female stable of badasses. But of course, Vince has to fuck shit up. So we still have Naomi, we still got Charlotte on SmackDown. Now Asuka's moved to SmackDown.
Speaking of Naomi, how did you feel about her running out shrieking to protect her hubby?
It reminded me of 1984 when Miss Elizabeth used to do that. Miss Elizabeth, by the way, children, Uncle Teddy's going to tell you a story. Back in the day, a man named Macho Man Randy Savage would often get beaten up, and his beautiful damsel in distress wife would run to his aid and jump in front of him and cry. And let me tell you, Naomi did a bang-up impression of Miss Elizabeth. I was like, wow. It took me back to 1987.
I loved it. I love anything Naomi does. So.
And then they continued it on Twitter, where Luke Harper tweeted her, and he said, "Enjoy him tonight." And then she wrote back, "Blocked!" ! So it was like, oh, well, that's cute. They're just, spilling over onto social media, and he's like, "Enjoy him before I kill him."
Get pregnant tonight.
Enjoy him while he's in one piece now.
Feel that glow.
Because I'm going to get him later. So I thought it was okay.
It's a glowing experience. So if you were to rate Naomi's performance 1 through 10, how would you rate it?
In her Miss Elizabeth impression?
Yes.
Oh, it was a dead 8. All she was missing was the strap that broke, because Miss Elizabeth had that strap that would... It was very cheaply made AC's material.
I think 8 is fair.
The one strap would always break. That's the only thing she was missing, and then the big AC's hair. But yeah, I give it an 8.
I thought it was really good. And I love them. Like on Total Divas.
Oh, yeah.
They are so fucking funny. When
he
took her out on a date for a drive-through spaghetti.
Yes.
And he's just like, what? It's spaghetti.
I've actually told Naomi, whatever you do, don't break up with Jimmy Uso. If you guys break up, that's it. I'm done. I'm not getting married or nothing. She's like, no.
I follow her on Instagram. I follow her on Twitter. Their pictures are so cute together. I'm constantly tweeting her like, you guys are like couple goals. They are first of all, they're both sexy as fuck.
Yeah.
Yes.
Am I allowed to drop F-bombs if Sunny's not here? Because, that stopped me before.
I think that's like the 8th.
You're not going to get disclaimers from me.
No disclaimers. Sunny's not here. I think they're cute as can be anyway. And, so... Good on.
Hopefully they don't have a superstar shakeup like Nikki Bella and John Cena.
I know. We don't want them to take that literally like John Cena and Nikki Bella did.
Yeah, exactly. But they're married. They live together, so they got a lot of the hard part out.
Let's pour one out for Nikki Bella's career. Continue. Oh yeah.
Also, I like the idea that Teddy had about combining Absolution with with Riot Squad.
Yeah.
Actually, that would be good. That would be like a little female nexus type of thing.
Yeah, I thought it was, and then of course things were moved. Rhonda and Natty. Since when did they train together?
Yeah, exactly.
I've never heard this
they were
before.
friends. I've never
Is
knew they
this
were
a
friends.
thing?
Yeah, well, so there was an episode of Total Divas. It was like back in 2010, where I think it was Nikki Bella, maybe Alicia Fox.
Shout out to Foxy.
And I know we need to talk about what happened with her at WrestleMania. But
Shout out to Foxy.
And it was Nikki Bella, Natty, and I think Alicia Fox. And they actually flew out to California to train with MMA with MMA and UFC for like a week or something in an episode.
Oh,
Wow.
Just so they could like
so.
learn some different.
Because I know Natty trained in the dungeon.
Different
She's the
stuff.
first
Yeah,
female. So when she said, "Oh, Rhonda and I trained together," I'm like, when did that happen?
And she turned face as well.
Yeah.
By switching brands, she turned face.
Which I'm really excited for. I love Natty. I've interviewed her twice. She's an absolute fucking gem. But she was getting a little stale on SmackDown with her pouty attitude and that kind of that whole heel thing she had going on. And so I'm really excited also that she's now getting a breath of fresh air.
Me personally, I've always been a fan of Natalya Neidhart, so I've always wished her the best. And I was actually excited when she won the SmackDown title.
You're
So
so
hopefully
excited.
she has success on Raw.
Yeah. And speaking of winning titles, Jeff Hardy won the U.S. Championship and then went over
ad.
to SmackDown.
Another
How
great
hilarious
ad.
was that?
And I think that's a great ad for SmackDown Live. I know Teddy said earlier where he thinks that Raw got the best, quality part of the Superstar shakeup, but SmackDown did add Jeff Hardy, and Jeff Hardy's a big thing.
I've always loved Jeff Hardy. He's like a fine wine. He's getting better with age, but
he really is.
He is. Like, I would hit that like a drum. But him going to SmackDown wasn't the only thing. Like, him and The Miz were like the only two, crowning jewels, so to speak. But yeah, Jeff Hardy with the belt. Loved it. I've loved him since like '99.
I loved how they kind of play hot potato with the title. How they moved the U.S. title to Raw through Jinder Mahal with the Superstar Shakeup, but then they brought it back to SmackDown to get the fans,
on their toes.
Yeah, exactly, on their toes. I love when they do stuff like that.
That was amazing. That was my first thought too. I was like, oh my god, what if he just...
I thought Seth Rollins was going to go to SmackDown.
Right, what? Yeah.
Greasy queen.
Greasy.
The greasiest of all the queens.
Grand Slam champion, Greasy Queen.
Grand Slam queen. Whatever.
Grand Slam Queen. That goes a new name right there. Hashtag Grand Slam Queen.
I often tweet him and he does not reply back when I call him a greasy queen. Because it's the truth. You can't deny the truth. So you can block me all you like, Seth. I'm only going to make another account. But, yeah.
All right, speaking of like the flip-flopping and going back and forth, Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn were reinstated thanks to Stephanie McMahon's corporate emails. Thoughts, Kervin?
I mean, I think they were bound to go to Raw from SmackDown, especially since they had a match on Raw about a week ago or so. Kevin Owens does deserve to go to Raw. I'm happy about that, and we'll see what happens. I think they'll have. You never know. You might see a Kurt Angle versus Kevin Owens match one of these days.
I want to see a feud with Roman Reigns and Kevin Owens.
No one wants to see that.
I do.
I don't mind it.
Veto.
Why are you vetoing my match?
I'm not behind Kevin Owens. Like, him and Sami Zayn don't do it for me. They don't grind my gears, if you get my joke. They don't make my pants dance. I don't like those two.
Yeah, I'm not too crazy about Sami Zayn's heel run. I actually liked him as a face. I felt he could have been a poor man's Daniel Bryan as a face. Oh. He had the theme song. He kind of had the crowd behind him. I felt he could have had more time with his face turn to actually give him a better presentation. But obviously they went with a heel turn, Sami Zayn. So we're going to have to settle for that.
I was bored as a face. I was bored as a heel. His next he sent him to 205 Live, so I never have to see him.
205.
As I don't watch 205. Send him there. Like, I'm done with Sami Zayn.
I wouldn't say 205.
I think it's a
now.
Thing.
Is that still
maybe? No, actually,
maybe main event? Is that?
Oh man! Shout out to main event.
That's Jobberville right there. Main event. That's embarrassing. That's worse than getting fired.
Oh no! Let me see how old you guys are. You remember Sunday Night Heat? Does anyone here remember?
Of
Is it just me?
course.
Yeah. Oh,
What
that
about Velocity? Who remembers
Oh,
Velocity?
Velocity.
I don't.
Came on 3 o'clock in the morning on Saturdays. Yeah, only heroin addicts and whores were up that day. But yeah, it was, yeah. Oh, Velocity.
I wasn't either by then.
Live Wire. Oh, Michael Cole hosting Live Wire. You weren't born back then, you know, but yeah.
They should put the mask on him and have a kind of like a throwback, you know, because he was El Generico at one point during the Indies.
Okay, I'm glad you said mask, because I'm going to confess something.
Confess.
I don't know the difference between Sin Cara and Kalisto.
Of course,
No,
I mean
because,
I do.
Because I was cooking.
You know the difference between the two
Because
Usos?
I was cooking. What does this mean, Teddy? You were cooking.
I was cooking.
You know the difference between Jimmy and Jey Uso?
No, they're both sexy. I'd fuck the both of them. I don't need to know the difference.
All right,
between the two.
disclaimer.
Oh, how can I?
I'm calling it a disclaimer now.
Sonny
Disclaimer. Don't even know her.
Sonny texted a disclaimer. No, I don't know the difference between. I've never known the difference. I don't know the difference between the Bella twins.
I feel like I'm the only one that knows the difference between the Usos.
No, it doesn't matter.
Knowing the difference between Sin Cara and Kalisto is very easy.
So listen, I'm cooking and I hear this oddly ethnic music in the background. So I'm like, what's this? So I thought it was Tito Santana. Then I remembered no one's seen Tito Santana in years. So I turned and I see the guy in the mask, the lucha mask, and I go, oh, Kalisto. And then the bottom of the screen says Sin Cara. And I'm like, oh, I don't know the difference between those two apparently.
Did you know there were 2 Sin Caras?
Yes.
No, I
Yes.
didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was.
So I don't know the difference between Sin Cara 1, Sin Cara 2, and Kalisto. I don't. They're interchangeable.
The Sin Cara that is now is used to go by Hunico, if I'm pronouncing that right.
Mm-hmm.
He used to roll with Camacho, who
No.
was actually related to a wrestler by the name of Haku, an old school wrestler.
Ooh, shout out to Haku, the toughest guy in the locker room, as many books, like this book, have said. Wait, Hunico, was that the vato on the bicycle?
Yeah, no. He wasn't the one. Yeah, he was on the front of the bicycle with Camacho on the back.
I just learned something today, ladies and gentlemen. Wow.
Yeah.
But yeah, Sin Cara,
He's cool.
totally.
And the original Sin Cara was a wrestler in Mexico, correct?
Yeah, and he basically kept filling the wellness test. The wellness test.
And he also did a lot of botching as well.
Yeah.
Well,
But
when
it was
you do
botch-
drugs,
botch-
it's bound to
it
happen.
was botchamania with the original Sin Cara.
Oh yeah, there's a video of him slipping, coming out of the Titantron. He just bloop, slipped, face plant.
And as well as
Yeah.
going through the ropes at Survivor Series 2011 in Madison Square Garden, where he hurt himself. He was out for, I think, several months.
And for any of those Sin Cara fans out there, you can check out my interview with him with Yahoo Sports on the CT WWE.
Oh, disclaimer, kids, don't do
Sin Cara, we love you.
Don't do drugs. Don't
Sin
do
Cara's the
drugs
shit.
by yourself. Never
No,
do drugs by yourself.
Hunico, who's Sin Cara right now,
Yeah.
yeah, he's very talented. He was talented as Hunico, so yes, definitely.
Okay, so Samoa Joe and Roman Reigns.
Beauty and the Beast.
My main thought on this is I'm so torn, you guys. This whole the pay-per-views are no longer going to be Raw or SmackDown Live exclusive, right? So I thought that this promo between Samoa Joe and Roman Reigns this week was amazing. But so what? We're not going to get any heat building up to Backlash because they're now on 2 different shows. So are the writers going to be focusing on SmackDown and Raw, or is it just going to be a freaking free-for-all and they'll just make matches between the brands for the pay-per-views that we'll just have to wait around for the build-up?
I think we're going to have matches for each brand. And of course, you're going to have incidents backstage where they do skits involving wrestlers from both brands. And here and there, you're going to see SmackDown versus Raw matches. But I think they'll save something like that for Survivor Series to do the whole card. Now, I was very happy with the promo that Roman Reigns and Samoa Joe had on Monday Night Raw, and I felt that it was something that they could build on. But
now they're on 2 different shows. How are they going to build on that?
Exactly.
Teddy, what do you think?
I think Roman Reigns looks so good on Monday.
Why did I even ask
Oh
you?
my
what
god,
do
he
you think?
looked delicious with his hair and that man bun.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I knew something like that was going to
Oh
happen.
my god, he does. And he's
I
another
walked
one who
into that
doesn't
one.
tweet back. But that's fine. I'll wait.
No,
I
but
want
I
to
think
know.
they should have continued. They should have continued with Samoa Joe and Roman Reigns.
I know.
But they probably didn't know that promo was going to be so good, and they had predetermined plans to switch Samoa Joe to SmackDown. But
See, I thought that Roman was going to go over SmackDown.
No. They call him the raw dog for a reason, and let me tell you,
No,
I've always.
Oh.
No, keep going.
The spirit of Sunny is here disclaiming me. But I will have to disagree with you. I like the co-branded pay-per-views because let me tell you, sometimes when it's a one-brand pay-per-view,
Yeah.
you know that some of those matches were filler matches. And we knew that. Like, we just have to fill up these 4 hours, so let's just throw out Sami Zayn and the janitor. Like, you knew, like, no one cares about this. They're just trying to get to that main event, but they need to fill these 2 hours. Now, with both brands on there's going to be a lot less filler matches, and there's going to be some good matches now because we have both.
I agree with Teddy. Not only that, it's better to have one big show instead of having 2 big shows. You know, like big pay-per-views I'm talking about. It's better to have one big pay-per-view than 2 small pay-per-views. I think it's best for business for everybody.
Yeah.
Having to wait that 6 weeks to your brand's pay-per-view, you know that there was nothing to build up. But now, with everyone getting to that, it's like maybe there's going to be some more stuff going on.
That's a really good point I didn't think about. I was just so fixated on like, oh, are they going to have like some random feud between a SmackDown Live superstar and a Raw superstar that is just going to build on social media? But I guess, yeah, if it's going to be just like, okay, here's the Raw matches, here's the SmackDown matches in one big ass pay-per-view.
And not to mention, a pay-per-view every 2 weeks, it gets stale.
Yeah,
it gets tiring after
losing
a while.
a life.
It loses, the pay-per-views lose its own value. It loses its value.
Yeah.
So I'm happy they actually did that.
I remember when they first did the brand split, the champions fought on Raw and SmackDown. There was no such thing as, oh, I'm only on Raw. If you had a belt, you had to fight on both brands.
Oh.
So it kind of takes me back to that. Like, okay, well, now we're, they're both going to be on the pay-per-view now. Because, yeah, back in the day, champions fought on both brands. But, yeah, that was back in the 1800s when it was black and white WWE. But, yeah, see how much I remember?
I didn't know WWE was around in the 1800s.
It was. We fought on dirt. But, yeah.
We
did. I often envisioned myself out on the WWE roster.
As if you were one of the wrestlers.
I always have.
If you were a wrestler, what would your name and gimmick be?
I've always said that I would be Teddy, the general manager. Which, look at this! I am living my dream.
Dreams come true, you guys.
Ever since Ric Flair came back and bought WWE, I always said that's the coolest fucking gimmick ever. Like, to just make matches. Because before, back in the 80s, children who aren't alive, Jack Tunney. Do you all know who Jack Tunney is? Of course. This gimmick president that wasn't a real president. Whenever there was a big match that they couldn't decide, they would call Jack Tunney, and then he would have like a little 15-second promo, and then he would just fuck shit up. And I always, as a kid, I used to be like, Jack Tunney is fucking cool. Then I realized that there was no Jack Tunney. Like, he wasn't a real person. So it's like, I've always felt like that GM has always been the coolest, and that is why I have saved everyone as the GM of Yep. You're welcome, Yep Page. So yeah, that would be my wrestling gimmick. What would yours be?
Oh gosh, I don't know. I think I would just be like, woohoo, we're in Bergdorf and I'm gonna Dom bomb you for those fucking shoes, bitch.
Like a Missy Hyatt type gimmick? Okay.
I don't know
about that. Oh god. How old am I? I've just said Missy Hyatt. Shout out to Missy Hyatt.
I love Missy Hyatt.
My favorite crack whore.
Kervin?
Except for Kervin.
I would just be myself. I personally think the best gimmicks is yourself.
Right.
You know, I obviously have a different name. I'll go by, my nickname, whatever, KD Swagger, which is my name on social media.
I like it.
No relation to Jack Swagger.
Oh, Jack Swagger.
But I would just be myself.
Speaking of wellness policy fails.
I would just be myself. I think the best gimmicks in wrestling are people that, you are yourself.
It's them, but exaggerated.
You look at The Godfather. He had so many different gimmicks. But when he became The Godfather, that's actually him in real life.
Yeah.
Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Oh, yeah.
Show that book.
Stone
Cold yeah, exactly. The Miz. He's himself.
Yeah.
Stone Cold Steve Austin, he was stunning Steve Austin.
Yeah.
Then he was part of the Hollywood Blondes.
The Ringmaster.
Mm-hmm.
The Ringmaster. But when he became Stone Cold Steve Austin, where he said things that was on his mind, he didn't care, the rest was history.
And Chris Jericho.
Jericho
again.
Exactly.
Good old days.
Alrighty, well, what did y'all think about the main event of Raw with the 10-man tag team?
I normally like 10 men, but I wasn't a fan of this.
You weren't getting tagged in enough.
I wasn't getting tagged. See what I did there? I took what she said and I switched it. Yeah, I was over it. It was too many people who don't really have a connection just thrown together.
Yeah, it's too many
And
people.
anytime Seth Rollins is out there, I'm bored.
Then you're done.
They were just trying to fit in as many guys as possible in one match, and I'm not really a big fan of 10-man tags unless it's like Survivor Series type of thing. But I wasn't too thrilled about it. But I did like the fact that they introduced Bobby Roode to Raw in that fashion.
See, I was gonna say I was really underwhelmed by that.
When they were overwhelmed.
Underwhelmed.
Underwhelmed. Why?
Just because I don't like Bobby Roode.
Really?
And I felt like there was such a big build-up.
She wanted a bigger
Thought you
name.
liked everybody.
I wanted a bigger name. I don't know. I just was sort of
What
like...
big name in SmackDown would you have liked in that specific spot?
I would have just liked Dean Ambrose to come out.
Oh, I forgot. She loves Dean Ambrose.
Yes,
I
I
forgot
know.
that.
I think that would have been
Yes, I
good
know.
as well.
Shout out to
think
Dean
that-
Ambrose. Yeah.
I think that would have been good. I thought Dean Ambrose was going to be Braun Strowman's partner at
I know, I did
WrestleMania
too.
34, but
I know, we talked about that. I was like,
it was Nicholas, and you can't pass up on Nicholas.
Shout out to Nicholas, the best, one of the best WWE superstars in a long
The
time.
worst.
Undefeated.
Can I ask a question?
Please.
And
That's why we're here.
this is going to connect us to SmackDown. Bobby Lashley,
Yeah.
and Shelton Benjamin. They were big in their heydays. Why have we brought these men back? They're not connecting with the fans. When Bobby Lashley comes out, it is so quiet. You can hear a mosquito pee on the moon. It was so quiet.
I
Shelton
agree.
Benjamin is like, okay, these men had great heydays, but
Yeah.
why are they here now? Like, Shelton Benjamin came out on SmackDown. I was so unimpressed. I went and I got some cookies, in my kitchen.
I totally agree. I'm not a Bobby Lashley guy.
Yeah.
I'm not a Shelton Benjamin guy either.
Neither was I.
But I do like Shelton Benjamin in the tag team, specifically with Chad Gable, and I don't understand why Chad Gable was moved to Raw, why that tag team was split up. They should have been together longer, and they should have talked more. I felt they know how to wrestle in the ring,
Yeah.
and they're not bad talkers. So I don't understand that split at all.
I don't think they had any chemistry
Together in the ring?
together, just in general.
I don't know why they split up Jason Jordan and Chad Gable.
They were
But then
great.
Well, they did that for
they were
yeah.
great together.
Yeah,
But
they
then
were good.
after a while, I said, wow, you know what? Jason Jordan is actually doing a good job
Yes,
as
he
a
was.
solo wrestler.
Good enough to eat. Hi,
Yeah,
Jason.
He was doing a good job as a solo wrestler. And I was like, wow, this kid is showing potential because he's had some great matches. And promo-wise, him and Seth Rollins working an angle together, he was doing, a great job. But then next thing you know, he ended up getting hurt. He ended up getting that serious injury. And
Because Seth Rollins is cursed. Everyone who wrestles, listen to me, and I'm talking about you, Seth, because I tweet him all the time. Everyone he wrestles hurts. Sting is dead because of Seth Rollins. He's killed a legend, okay? Finn Balor was nearly killed because of Seth Rollins. Who's the other one Seth Rollins
you got a
killed?
point there.
John Cena got best. This greasy queen is out here killing people. This is crazy.
Someone needs to tell the police.
I'm going to call everyone and tell them,
Someone or
listen,
SVU.
that greasy queen's trying to hurt people. But I don't get the whole Bobby Lashley return. The crowd isn't getting engaged. It was so silent on Monday with his little Olivia Newton-John headband.
He did get a pop, but it made me say, you know
the
what?
first week.
He did get a pop, but it made me say, you know what? It's going to be his last pop because I don't see him getting
It was
a
more
pop
of a
ever
surprise,
again.
more of the
Yeah.
element of surprise rather than.
Doink the Clown could have came out.
Oh,
the Raw
Doink the
after
Clown.
Mania, and he would have got a pop. Everyone gets a pop
Yeah.
after.
It was like a Royal
after
Rumble
being
pop
Mania.
where it's like, oh my God.
Yeah, exactly.
But they're
It's
not
like-
behind him. Don't get me wrong. His body is awesome. Shout out to The Miz. But he's boring.
So my thing though with Bobby Lashley is that I really enjoyed him with Braun Strowman.
Mhm.
So I really think that they should try to pursue that or just find a new angle because they're like the same height.
I mean, they're bound to face each other, but it's not something I want to see in a big pay-per-view like Royal Rumble or WrestleMania.
Well, definitely not one of the big four.
Yeah, I personally think Bobby Lashley is going to phase himself out, become a mid-carder,
Yeah.
or become a carpenter in the main event scene, where you're putting other people over, not necessarily yourself. So I'm still trying to figure out the logic of why you're bringing Bobby Lashley in.
Yeah.
Beats me. Guess is as good as mine on why Bobby Lashley and Shelton Benjamin are back. But what do I know besides everything?
Besides, you know everything.
I do.
What's going on in SmackDown?
So what do y'all think about Shinsuke's heel
Hmm.
turn and obsession with punching AJ Styles in the balls.
I think Shinsuke Nakamura is overrated.
What?
I think he's overrated. I'm not saying overrated does not mean you're bad. It just means you're ranked higher than you're supposed to be. His heel turn to me is interesting.
Yeah.
I want to know more about it, but I'm not too crazy about him, period. I just don't, I don't think he deserves the TV time or the attention that he's been getting since he's been part of the main roster. Outside of his theme song, it's like, I don't see nothing big about him. I like Aiden English more than I like Shinsuke Nakamura.
What?
I think Aiden English is very underrated.
Hot take.
Wow.
I think Aiden English is someone that people need to take more serious. He can talk. He has great size. He is not bad in the ring. And I wasn't a Vaudevillains fan at all. And I ended up interviewing Simon Gotch on the Yep I Like Wrestling YouTube channel as well as the SoundCloud page. And I didn't know Simon Gotch was a great talker. And Aiden English is just as a great talker as he is, if not better. And I'm like, these guys should have talked more. And I personally think that, everyone's looking at Rusev, which they should. Rusev deserves a main event push, right now.
Yeah.
He should beat The Undertaker, which obviously he's not because WWE is beating WWE. But Aiden English might become a star because of this whole Rusev thing.
I think he already
he
is on his way.
And I like him more than Shinsuke Nakamura.
Oh.
Call me crazy, but hey, that's just my opinion.
Crazy. No.
I'm crazy. I need pills. I need pills.
Teddy, what do you think about Shinsuke and AJ?
I've always been entertained by Shinsuke Nakamura. The heel turn is just another layer to his creepiness. Shout out to the Glamazon who pointed out his overtly creepy sexual type thing, and the fact that he's obsessed with AJ Styles' crotch.
But not only obsessed with it, but then when he leaves the ring, he does this
it's very creepy. I didn't notice it until the Glamazon pointed it out. Yeah. And then when his no speak English thing, there's something creepy about someone saying that.
That's why I want to know more about his heel turn, because I kind of like what he's doing. Even though I feel he's overrated.
Yeah.
It's interesting to see what he's doing exactly.
Right.
But I'm still not crazy about him. I don't think the title should be on him. I don't see him as world champion material. And I remember I brought that up to a couple of people and they told me, so what is world champion material? And I had a hard time actually defining it, but I told the person, listen, there's about 5 guys at the time, at least 5 guys that I think are better than Nakamura. Randy Orton, Bobby Roode, Rusev, AJ Styles, and there's several other guys at the time that were on SmackDown I feel better than Nakamura. Right?
Tell us how you really feel.
Hey, props to Nakamura. He's had some great matches at New Japan Pro Wrestling. He's had some great matches here in the WWE, but I just feel that we deserve better.
And now, of course, with Nakamura attacking AJ Styles at the end of SmackDown, we also had Big Cass attacking Daniel Bryan.
How you doing?
How's Enzo doing?
Where is Enzo?
Exactly. I forget about how we feel about this. I want to know what Enzo feels about all this.
Come on, man.
I'm just really glad that when they were in NXT, when Carmella, Enzo, and Big Cass were in NXT, everybody was like, oh, Carmella's the joke. She's not going to go anywhere. And look now. Well. She is the SmackDown Live Women's Champion. She was the first ever winner of the first women's Money in the Bank ladder match. And Big Cass only just came back. He's been out for almost a year. Enzo is dunzo.
Oh,
and Carmella cut a very, very good promo on SmackDown Live.
Oh my gosh, I really like Carmella.
And we talked about in the beginning of this show, the beginning of this episode of the podcast, where we talked about Nikki Bella and John Cena splitting up. Big Cass and Carmella, they might get back together because part of their problem was the brand split.
Right.
Carmella being on SmackDown and Big Cass being on Raw.
It was the brand. Well, it was not only the brand split; it was his attitude after he got injured.
Mm-hmm.
But
that's common because this is the first time he's had a major injury like that.
It is.
And when you have an injury like that, which I've never had an injury like that before, but you're stationed in one place majority of the times, and you not only have to get used to that physically, but you have to get used to that mentally. And it's actually hard on you.
I can't imagine. But here's the thing: is that women, we see like how you handle a certain situation, and that's all we need. It's not like, oh, but it's like, so she probably was like, if this is how you're going to handle, like, you being in a shitty position, what's going to happen when we have kids? What's going to happen?
Exactly.
So I don't think that, oh, now that he's better, they'll get back together.
Not to mention, he wanted to stay in Orlando.
Yeah. And
Carmella
she wanted
to move
soar.
to Los Angeles.
Yeah.
But overall, I kind of like his move to SmackDown Live because I know they wanted to split up Baron Corbin and Big Cass. They probably didn't want both of them together because they're both trying to be developed. Not only that, SmackDown, it's a smaller window, smaller opportunity, bigger opportunity because there's so little time, you get more shine if it's brought to you. I felt that Mojo Rawley should have stayed on SmackDown because I feel Raw is flooded. There's a lot of wrestlers on Raw, and you're probably not going to get TV time like you would on SmackDown Live. So, props to Big Cass. He's very tall. He's a decent worker in the ring. He's a decent talker. I wish him the very best on SmackDown Live. He's actually taller than Teddy. Teddy's 6'5", and supposedly Big Cass is 7 feet tall.
He's literally massive.
You can't teach that. First off, thank you for using the words raw and flooded in the same sentence.
Oh, God.
I've always appreciated a man with words. Cass reminds me of undercooked chicken. I can't. I've never been for Cass. The fact that he showed up, I was like, him. I'd rather Enzo had showed up. Enzo was always the more entertaining of those two. Cass doesn't do it for me. So I don't really find that as a win for SmackDown. And Carmella beating Charlotte, my mind is blown. Blown, I tell you. Like,
they're trying to put Carmella over.
Yeah.
She
deserves it.
They're trying to shoot her to the moon, which I don't blame them for that. I'm on the fence with Carmella. I'm not sure if I really love her. I'm not sure if I actually hate her.
Yes, on the fence.
I'm actually on the fence. Sorry, Christy, I have to take your words. But she cut a great promo. And putting the title on her might bring her to the top. Look what happened with Alexa Bliss. Alexa Bliss came into WWE. She was like that college player in college basketball that stayed 3-4 years in college, and they weren't a high draft pick, but they ended up being a star. Meanwhile, you have people like Apollo Crews, who were like the college basketball player who played 1 year in college, you thought was going to be a star, but kind of flopped. So Carmella, she might escalate to a higher level now that she has the title. And I hope she does. It's best for the business.
I'm on the fence about Carmella too. It actually just feels like I've been crushed on a fence. Every time I hear Carmella speak, it just feels like I've fallen on a fence. I can't stand the girl.
You can't stand her?
I can't stand her.
The one thing I don't like is that she shrieks when she wrestles.
And her moonwalk, and she's
the moonwalking, trash talking princess.
Girl who's not even from Staten Island. Liar. Like,
she's not?
Yeah, somebody told me she's from Boston, so she's a liar. And she wears hair extensions, so
everyone in the women's division wears hair extensions.
I wanted her to cash in on Nia Jax at WrestleMania. I felt that would have been an oh my god moment.
Had she beaten her, I would have yelled, oh my god. Like, Carmella is not good in the ring. And now we have the Iconics, who are equally bad. Now
I'm on the fence with both of them as well.
Oh my god, I love the Iconics.
When it comes to wrestling and looks, I'm on the fence with that. It's like I'm so close to follow them on Instagram, but I'm like, damn, should I follow them? Should I not? Should I follow them? Should I not? I'm like so confused.
I'm not for it. They're like the Family Dollar version of the Bellas, and I don't like the Bellas to begin with. So that just shows you what I feel about the Iconics. They are the Family Dollar.
The Family Dollar version of the Bellas.
They showed up, and there is no accent more irritating than an Australian accent.
Ooh,
I could not heavily disagree with either.
Oh, God. And then they were terrible. Like, poor Charlotte had to carry them in that.
No, I did not think that they were terrible. I thought Billie Kay held her own. I thought that they are really funny. They're unique. They're not like the Bellas at all.
No, they're definitely not like the Bellas.
I think they're unique. They're funny.
Hello, Lay Cool. Sorry, don't listen to this. Unique. They're ripping off the Lay Cool gimmick.
What's the Lay Cool gimmick?
How old is this girl? Oh my god.
Educate me, Teddy. What's the Lay Cool gimmick?
Lay Cool was an actual female tag team who could wrestle, and their gimmick was we're beautiful, we're flawless. You're supposed to do the flawless. Am I the only one who remembers?
I didn't know I was part of this. I didn't know.
Their thing was
we
are
doing Lay Cool.
flawless, which is synonymous with iconic. So yeah, so this gimmick has been done. Shout out to Michelle McCool and Layla L. You do not know who I'm speaking about.
Oh, is it
Michelle McCool? She's married to the Undertaker.
No, I know
Teddy's
Michelle
favorite
McCool
wrestler
is.
of all time.
She was in a tag team with Layla L. And they were actually very good. They were actually co-Divas champions? Or were they women's champions? Co-women's champions, where they actually split the belt in half. They each wore half of the belt.
Oh.
This is totally new for you.
This is totally new for me.
Really?
Yeah.
So you don't know who Michelle McCool is?
No, I fucking know who Michelle McCool is.
You just
For
don't know
the
her
10th
history.
time, I know
she's
who.
married to the Undertaker.
I know who Michelle McCool is,
there
but I
was
was unaware that she was in a tag
She
team
was
called
a very
Play Cool.
pretty black girl named Layla L. She won the Divas Search.
Yeah, I like Layla.
Maybe 2005. But they could actually wrestle their
I
ass
didn't
off.
watch it.
Dancer of the Miami Heat.
That was, I think, when I took a break from WWE.
But they were good. So the Iconics are ripping off. So I don't find them unique. And they kind of look like you put the Bellas in the dryer
I
too long and then
do
pull them out.
I do like them being paired with Carmella. Because
Have they been paired?
Well, they're being aligned with Carmella.
It looks like they will be.
Okay.
And I hope they go that route because it helps the Iconics and also helps Carmella. You know?
I just
they
think-
want Carmella to be a star by herself. That's the thing.
Good luck.
I just think that it's something refreshing for the women's division right now because there isn't anyone like them right now
There's
in
a
the women's
reason for
division.
that, Lucy.
And I think it's just nice and fresh. And like I said for the third time, they're fucking funny. Like there's no one else on the roster on the women's division that's funny. Like Mickie James is not funny. Alexa Bliss is not funny. Nia Jax, I love her, but she's not funny.
Alexa Bliss can be funny.
Alexa can be funny.
It's like that sarcasm humor though. It's not like,
Now,
oh, I'm so sorry, JK. Like, that's not funny.
the Iconics, they're definitely going to be in the women's tag team tournament
Yes.
to crown the women's tag team champion. They'll definitely be there. That's the main reason why they were brought up.
Yeah.
I felt they should have had more time at NXT.
Yes, they need more time at NXT.
There's a lot of people that need more time at
A lot
NXT.
more
But
time.
nowadays, you do a clothesline and a power slam, you're brought up to the main roster.
Is there anyone else on the main roster that you think should have had more time in NXT?
Apollo Crews. And for good and bad reasons. Bad reasons because of everything that's happening now. Good reasons because I feel that he could have reached his potential at NXT. I'm not a fan of bringing people up. I was okay with Asuka coming up and Bobby Roode coming up. They were finished products. But there are a lot of people who are not finished products. No Way Jose, shout out to him, the first Dominican descent wrestler
Talk about a
on
rip-off.
Monday Night Raw that I know about.
Carlito on the Rose, but like,
Oh,
that's
I
a
give you
rip-off.
that. I said it in the last podcast. I agree.
He was not ready in the ring, but I see where they're going with him because I feel he's a better fit on the main roster than he is on NXT for entertainment purposes. The same was said about Elias. Elias was pretty much a jobber in NXT. And this guy is like through the roof now. Alexa Bliss, she wasn't a jobber, but she wasn't in the main event scene at NXT.
Yeah.
And now that she's in the main roster, forget about it. She was the steal of the draft. Her and Braun Strowman. So No Way Jose is one person I felt should have needed more time. Authors of Pain, they needed more time.
And they even lost their manager,
Exactly.
who was like kind of my favorite part of the Authors of Pain because they felt like they were part of some like John Wick group.
They needed more time in the ring. I hope some way, somehow, Paul Heyman manages them. I heard a rumor that Paul Ellering is not a fan of the schedule, so that's why they kind of split ways. And they actually did it in a good way. Not that they actually turned on him, like they attacked him.
Right.
So I don't think, overall, I don't think Authors of Pain was ready, but there's a lot of people that are being rushed to the main roster.
Teddy, do you think there's anyone that could use a little bit more time? I know you said you don't really watch NXT, but is there anyone that you think you'd like to put back into a little factory to...
Was Baron Corbin in NXT?
Yes, he was.
He could have been sent back because I don't get him.
Yeah.
I don't get him this role.
Yeah. Baldwin Corbin.
Oh, poor thing.
He's actually improving on the mic.
But his hair is getting worse somehow.
His whole look his whole thing needs to change. The lone wolf.
I'm really impressed with Ember Moon. I saw none of her work in NXT, but I love
Ember Moon.
She eclipsed Mickie James.
All right, I'll give that one. That was okay. Cool. She's worth coming up. I mean, I felt she could have had a longer run with Shayna Baszler, who I can't stand. In NXT,
Yeah.
you know what? I'm okay with her being brought up.
All right, we are running-ish out of time.
Also, I just wanted to add one thing. Velveteen Dream, I hope he doesn't get brought up. I think he deserves to stay in NXT for a long time because he can really be something very special. That's all I have to say about that.
Mic drop.
Yes, Velveteen Dream is a star. Teddy might disagree on that one, but I think he's a star.
I mean, he ripped off Darren Young's gimmick and then made it better. If I were Darren Young, I'd be throwing a sissy fit or hissy fit. You see what I did there?
But that's
Shout out to Darren Young.
who Velveteen Dream is, and he showcased that on Tough Enough when he was Patrick Clark. He actually did a great job. He's a great talker, and he needs more time in the ring. Talking wise, he's fine. He's ready for the main roster, but I think in the ring he needs more time.
All right, we'll take note.
I'm going to disagree with you. I just think that the Authors of Pain were ready to be on Raw.
They're ready because you like them.
I want them to align themselves with Roman Reigns.
They all are.
The
like,
Shield 2.0, I
have the
don't
same-
know about
Yes, that's what I want. I want Roman Reigns.
The
and
Shield. Don't get me
Authors.
started on that Shield reunion. That was like literally the weakest thing of the
Really?
year.
I thought that was good.
It
Well, Seth
never
Rollins was
took
there,
off.
so I hated it. Yeah.
It just never
No, I
happened.
thought that was, I really
They
like.
kept getting interrupted.
I really like how they've been booked. They've booked the Shield ever since they've come up to the main roster, and how they all had
Even with the
an angle.
reunion last year.
Even with the reunion last year. These are 3 future Hall of Famers right there. Seth Rollins, Dean Ambrose.
No, they're all
and
amazing,
Roman Reigns.
but I just felt like the way.
Beto. She said they're all amazing. Beto. I'm gonna let you slide because I know you like Dean Ambrose, just because. You
Hey,
know,
at least
this is your
at
thing.
least I'm including Roman in that.
Thank you, but there's one.
Gonna take the
reason
wins,
for it.
Brady.
Not too many people like all 3 of them.
Yeah.
What I've noticed. Everyone that loves the Shield, or they love the Shield, but there's just one person in the Shield that they feel is the missing link that
Seth
they
Rollins.
just don't like. For example, Teddy and Seth Rollins.
It's everyone. Everyone agrees with me. It's
But there are people that like Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins, but they don't like Roman Reigns.
Those people don't exist. You're making things up.
No,
You're
I'm
literally
sure
sitting here lying.
I'm not lying.
You're lying.
Come on. Roman Reigns was booed heavily on Monday Night Raw.
I don't recall any of this. This never happened. So is anyone on the Superstar Shakeup that you were upset about? You feel that they should not have been switched? How do you guys feel?
I mentioned Chad Gable before. Anyone else? Zack Ryder and Mojo Rawley both going to Raw, and they're not together. I don't know why. I understand Zack Ryder going to Raw. Someone has to replace R-Truth in a way. Even though I feel Zack Ryder.
Do they really?
Does it really?
Hey, every roster spot is significant.
Poor Goldust.
Mojo Rawley, I
Would you
really.
say you got some shattered dreams?
Yeah, there were definitely some shattered dreams. This shakeup.
Mojo Rawley, I really like. He can talk on the mic. I wasn't a fan of him as a face, but as a heel, he's cut some great promos online, and I felt he should have stayed on Smackdown to get more time. People that really don't matter. We forgot Extension. They actually went to Raw. They're a tag team, but they've been so obsolete that it's like we forgot to mention them.
I think that what is it called? Sorry, my brain is going in 40 different directions. I wish that Smojo and Roman Reigns were still on the same brand because I was really looking forward to that.
Oh, and I love Drew McIntyre going to Raw and surprising everyone.
With Dolph.
With Dolph attacking Titus Worldwide. I did not expect that. I thought Drew McIntyre was going to go back to NXT. That was a surprise to me, and I love surprises. That's something I did not see anywhere.
Nah, I didn't either. Drew McIntyre was a complete,
And I feel Sanity. I felt Sanity should have came into the ring, attacked a couple of wrestlers, and really made a debut.
Yeah.
Not seeing them on a Titantron.
I like
they're on
Sanity.
SmackDown. I like Sanity too.
Yeah.
But they deserve better than being shown on SmackDown on the Titantron. Hey, they're coming to SmackDown.
Yeah. I like Sanity. They're like Dean Ambrose mixed with the Wyatt family.
It's actually good. And not only that, Nikki Cross is not going to be with them, which is interesting to me.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she wasn't shown.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah, so I wonder what they have
Planned for her.
Yeah, what they have planned for her on NXT. But this is probably Triple H being Triple H and saying, you know what, Nikki Cross.
What was that?
Nikki Cross can stand on her own, and she could be a star on her own, just like he felt with Carmella.
So, what do y'all think? We got to wrap up, but what are your thoughts on the greatest or as Sonny calls it, the longest Royal Rumble?
I'm a huge fan of the Royal Rumble. So 50 men or 50 women, well, obviously in this case 50 men are in the Royal Rumble, so I'm all for it. This is slowly becoming better booked than the actual Royal Rumble this past year if you take out the women matches. So I'm looking forward to see what they have stored, and I hope Rusev beats The Undertaker. He
I hope so
deserves
too.
it.
Teddy, what do you think?
I'm over it already. I'm over it. I'm not here for it.
You're not excited to watch it?
I'm
next
not
Friday?
excited. It's going to be, 9 hours? Like, I can't deal with it. These pay-per-views are getting longer and longer and longer, and I can't deal with it. 50 people we haven't, only 20 of those people are actually good wrestlers. The other 30 is just going to be people like, let's go get Repo Man, and let's get the Boogeyman. Let's bring him. It's just going to be like, who the hell are these people? People just we haven't seen in years just to fill out this 50. I'm not for it. And The Undertaker and Rusev, I'm not for it. I'm over it. And I haven't even started watching it yet. And I'm not going to watch it. Like, I'm over it. It comes on at 8 o'clock in the morning. I have to go to work that day. I can't be dealing with it.
So you're not going to throw a party if Seth Rollins wins the 50-man
yeah, literally my skin
Royal
just
Rumble.
crumbles. Like, oh my God.
You're not going to throw a party?
Well, thankfully, he's in Saudi Arabia. It's a dry climate. Maybe the grease will, evaporate just a little of him. But, yeah, I'm over it. What about you?
I'm excited just because it's something to do during the day.
So while I'm working, you will be watching this terrible. Is it a pay-per-view? Are we considering this a pay-per-view?
They are. It looks
Yeah,
like
they are,
Okay.
yeah.
But I hope it's not an annual thing. I hope it's
Yeah.
just a one-time thing. That's it.
Yeah.
And I think if it's an annual thing, it's just overdoing it, and it actually ruins the value of the actual Royal Rumble.
And are the women fighting?
Nope.
No.
Supposedly they're not. I don't know. There's a story like they're not allowed in Saudi Arabia for some reason.
Because,
Because it's run by the Taliban, isn't it?
well,
There are no women matches at all.
Women can't draw,
they wrestled for the first time sometime last year
In
with
Abu
Sasha Banks and
that was in Abu
Bliss.
Dhabi though. Yeah.
And they had to cover up. Normally the women wear, so they had to cover up
That's
completely.
why they were covered up. I was.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
saw,
that was Abu Dhabi.
I saw highlights of that match, and I'm saying,
But
why are they covered up? Because I'm not really too educated on everything that's going
Yeah,
on.
but in Jeddah, it's literally under Taliban rule.
I don't even know why we're doing it. So yeah, there aren't women on
So-
wrestle.
Women probably won't be, and they might be in attendance. I had a few friends that were from Jeddah, and they would be like, "Oh, lols, I put on a wig so I could drive my dad's car, lols," and I'm just like, that sucks. So
I don't know how we're even doing this,
I
but
think
yeah,
it's interesting.
No, I have to go to work that day. I'm actually going to go to work. The biggest Royal Rumble of them all. No, thank you. No, thank you.
yeah, I think there's a lot of
See ya at
Locations
Backlash.
there.
Anybody got tape? It's time to wrap it up.
That wasn't bad. But I wrap up the shows here. Just relax. I'll do it. When I say take it off, that's what we do.
just watch you drink your water.
Yes, it's Sprite, actually.
So take us home, Teddy.
So, no, not yet. It's not time yet.
Let it do it.
Stop doing it. I have so little in this world.
That's you gotta say not today, Kervin. Not on
That's
the
it.
show.
We're not doing
Not
this
today.
thing, Kervin. We're not doing this. So, thank you guys for joining us. This wasn't bad. It was so much easier when Sunny's not here. So now I will throw it to you and say, Lucy, take us home. That felt weird. It's like masturbating with the other hand. It just feels weird. But Lucy, take us home.
Wait, why does it feel weird?
I know it doesn't feel the same. We all have that favorite hand, but it just...
Oh,
so just
sort of like the sleeper.
yeah, like that whole thing. But please, Lucy, take us home.
Well, thank you guys so much for listening, for tuning in.
And watching.
Yes, and watching. I am Lucy T. You can check me out on YouTube at Lucy T WWE and follow me on Instagram and Twitter. And we are here with the Yep GM Teddy.
The greatest general manager
greatest
in Yep
GM.
history.
Self-proclaimed.
Ah, I thought I was
You
going
had
to get
to
away
sneak
with
that
it.
in there,
Damn
didn't
you, Sonny. Will your reign ever cease? Oh, yeah, you can follow me on Instagram at the Yep GM. See, it's official. If it's on Instagram, it must be true. So there you go.
Must be. And Kervin, the co-founder of Yep I Like Wrestling.
Yes, you can find me on Instagram at KD_swagger with the ER at the end, _914. And you can find me on Twitter, KD_swagger on Twitter. No relation to Jack Swagger.
I do miss Zeb culture.
Okay, he's great.
All right. Well, this has been episode 17 of
17.
Yep I Like Wrestling podcast. Thank you guys.
Great number 17. I was born on April 17th.
Wow.
And we are signing out.